Here's one. What is your most embarrassing moment?
What is your most embarrassing moment?
What is your most embarrassing moment in ministry?
I wish Sharon was getting this one. What is it? Have I had an embarrassing? I'm sure I have. Oh, yeah. I was doing a funeral and somebody had messed with the sermon, eulogy. I had to leave the sanctuary. You know, I covered it and I just said, he really did things with excellence, and I think it would be really nice if I'd have the sermon here. And so I went into my office. Thank God I had another copy. A couple hundred people sitting there thinking, oh, they're Lutheran.
I have an occasional affliction which needs to be dealt with immediately by a retirement to the lavatory. Sunday, I was perceiving in the middle of the gospel that I was about to need to leave. So I got up, I was in the pulpit, finished the gospel, and said, I'm going to have to leave you now. I am all right. Organist, can you vamp for a little bit? As I tore out of there, but the doctor beat me to the sacristy. I said, I'm fine, just get out of the way. I came back and shared with the congregation that I met each week with an ecumenical group of clergy, and one of them likes to put a name, a title on the sermon. And so the one from this week is A Sudden Call. The congregation laughed and I knew we were okay.
I'll tell you one that I just think it's funny. This is not it. This was in where I am now in St. Stephen's in Terre Haute. They have this. It's an old Catholic cut for the chasuble, really short. So it's already kind of funny on me because I'm like 6'3".
You're tall, yeah.
And so it barely comes down to my belly button. And so it's a kind of a weird cut anyway. But it's round. A late member who was very fond of and much beloved for her sewing and quilting talents. She adorned it with things, and so I couldn't tell what the front or the back was to this thing because the cut was identical on both sides, and they were both adorned. And so I walked out. Well, I wore it one way, and then I actually said to the congregation, I don't know which way is which on this one. Both sides look the same to me. Let's vote. Let's vote on tell me which one makes more sense.
There was a character in the diocese who was always being mischievous, and he would occasionally take my sermon notes, off of the pulpit that I had placed there before the sermon. I probably preached my best sermons
without your notes.
The notes. It was really a moment of terror. The other ones I really don't want to talk about.
Well, I thought you might tell, and you probably don't remember this. I had just joined the diocesan staff. We were in convention at Grace Church, Port Huron, and you got to meet my children for the first time.
When you're walking outside?
Yes, right. Right.
And I stumbled over something. I knew what you were going to say.
And we were all talking, and you went off the step and hit that, and you fell down. And that's the first encounter that my kids had with you. And what they loved about that is
he's a real person.
He's a real person, exactly. He's a real person.
I figured out why I couldn't answer the question about what my most embarrassing moment in ministry is, and that's because the whole thing has just been embarrassing. I think that the whole thing has been me making mistakes and figuring it out the hard way. So a lot of my embarrassment has been I'm an extrovert, and so I'm externally processing, and I'm not ready to share those thoughts with people, but it's just what comes out of my mouth. Like this whole thing. Little journey I've been on. Embarrassing myself and then just moving on.
Meanwhile, I'm an introvert. I would have really loved these questions in advance so I could have pondered them on the drive.